Hey, we're here with Mark from Amici's in Berwick. Mark, what are we making today?
We are going to make a eggplant rollatini with some homemade gnocchis.
Well, let's get started.
All right. Well, first you're going to cut the top off.
Okay.
And then
Oh boy, the mandolin.
slice carefully.
Right? Very carefully. I've taken off a piece of my finger with one of these.
I played the mandolin once in college.
So Mark, where is Amici's located in Berwick?
On Walnut Street. So then you grab a sheet and just lay them out.
Now, are we going to add anything to the eggplant before we roast it?
Yes, you're going to be putting oil and salt and pepper.
Okay.
Always cut that thin, Mark?
Yeah, about 1/8 of an inch thin.
Okay.
Any thicker, it's tough. Any thinner, it burns very easily.
So then that's a little bit of olive oil.
Yep. Some salt and pepper.
Okay. So now, Amici's, when are you open for, do you serve just dinner or lunch?
Just dinner,
Okay.
Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9. Now we do open for private parties.
Great.
Luncheons.
So you cater as well?
Correct, yes.
Perfect.
Yep. So these will go in the oven for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So while that is baking, make sure the sauce doesn't burn.
Got some homemade marinara sauce there.
Yes. All right. And then while that's baking, we will mix our mixture.
So the filling that goes in the rollatini.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So you have ricotta.
Awesome. I just want to eat that. I know, right? Don't touch.
Then grated Parmesan.
Okay. So about a cup.
Yeah. Yep. And we have eggs.
How many do you need?
All six.
All six. All
Six
right,
of them.
let me get in here.
Perfect.
Let's see if I can.
I didn't know we were supposed to
I
participate.
actually did that. I actually
Very
did that
good.
with one hand.
Very good. So then a little bit more salt and pepper in the mixture. And then we put fresh basil in as well.
I love fresh basil.
Yes. Yeah, we cook with a lot of fresh herbs. Parsley, basil.
Tell us a little bit more about what you serve at Amici's. So traditional Italian food or a mixture of things?
There is some, we have fish, we do have crab cakes on special quite often, but for the most part, I'd say 90-95% is Italian.
Homemade pasta, of course.
We do have homemade spaghetti, homemade gnocchi, and we do have just normal angel hair and spaghetti.
Delicious.
Yep.
That smells so good, right?
It makes a world of difference.
It really
for me.
does when
It
it's
does.
fresh.
Fresh
Yeah, it
compared
smells
to
so
dried,
good.
yep.
When you say a little bit more, how do you know how much is a little bit? Or when you do the salt and the pepper, just a pinch of this?
In the beginning, I measured everything.
Okay.
But then just throughout the, like I said,
It becomes a fine art.
a year. It's like you can kind of tell the way
Yeah.
it looks, how much is supposed to be in there.
I've
Okay.
always marveled in that.
Yeah, that's what on all those cooking shows you're always like, how do they know?
Yep.
But
You just kind of know, right?
yeah, when you do it day in and day out, you just kind of.
So people trying at home
Yeah.
might make a mistake.
So maybe just like a teaspoon or...
I believe it's been a while since I actually looked at the recipe.
yeah.
About a teaspoon of each.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So I'm assuming cooking is a passion of yours.
Actually, no.
Really?
Yeah. I do enjoy it. I do. Never actually would have thought I would own a restaurant.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then how did Amici's get started? Tell us a little bit of your story.
My wife and the one owner have kind of dreamt about it when they retired.
Okay.
Something to do. The opportunity came up prior to that, so we jumped on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for
So,
you guys.
Great
Yeah.
story.
So then what are we pairing with the eggplant rollatini? Because you could just eat it on its own, or
Correct.
would you serve it with something?
It does come with a side of pasta.
Okay.
So we're going to. I brought the homemade gnocchi
Ooh, let's get those out. Let's look at
today.
those a
So
little
we
bit.
have a local lady make them
Go into boiling water.
in the boiling water. And then throw in some.
Can I see one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna get a look here.
Yep.
I feel like we need to show everybody what these look like because this is like the real deal. Check that out. Homemade gnocchi, that's awesome. So while he's checking, I guess we should mention that Amici's is part of Restaurant Week. So it's all part of the Columbia Montour Visitors Bureau Restaurant Week, and that is March 16th through the 24th. 28 restaurants participating, and there's just restaurants all over Columbia and Montour counties. So like me, if you've never been to Amici's, discover a new restaurant that you've never had the opportunity of dining at before. I feel like we just have to stay out of the way. Stay out of the way.
Hands a little big. So, all right. Now, make sure you just take a spoonful.
Okay.
Make sure you get some basil in there.
Tom, I think it's your turn to get your hands dirty. I want to see you roll one of these.
I could try.
There you go.
We have to let the expert show us how, though.
It's actually very super simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. So there we are. You're going to want to put a little sauce on the bottom of each boat.
Okay.
So then all you do is roll,
Place in the dish.
place in.
So about halfway.
Yep. Gonna flip it over. Yep. Just roll.
There you go. Nice work.
Chef Tom, how about it?
There you
There
go.
it is.
And just cut a little bit.
And that's mozzarella.
Yeah, it is.
When it cuts.
Okay, and place it on top.
Yep. Place it on top and it'll melt down over it.
So this goes back in the same oven, right?
Yep, for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let it all bake through, and then it is done.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. That looks delicious.
Then
So how do we finish this off?
we will top it with a little fresh basil.
Amazing. Smells so good.
And we have our gnocchi over here.
And then how do we finish off the gnocchi?
And then just that, and just a little.
Listen, that'll be mine. I love cheese. This is perfect. Watch. No, fixed. It's all fixed. There we go. I'll take the cheesy
perfect,
one.
Perfect.
Does that work?
Perfect.
Why don't we
Excellent.
take it over to the bar and we try some?
All
What do you
right.
say?
Perfect.
All right,
Sounds
awesome.
great.
We've already sampled our food from Amici's in Berwick, and now we have Patty from Freas Farm Winery in Berwick with us to let us know what wine goes with what meal, or to sample more than one wine.
That's correct. We're going to see how the food and the wine play off of each other. We're going to be starting the tasting with one of our dry reds, 3 turns with the lathe. And I wanted to explain ahead of time that it will have some effect on the acidity of the tomato paste or the tomato sauce. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it just will taper it at the end, and hopefully they'll recognize that. If not, it's no big deal. There's really no right or wrong, but in theory, that's what the wine aficionados will tell us should happen. And then secondly, I brought one of our sweeter wines with me today. It's our Joy. It's our semi-sweet red, and that's going to be an interesting pairing for these folks because it will taste a certain way. And then they're going to try the cheese in the eggplant rollatini, and that will actually have a pretty interesting impact on the wine. So we'll go ahead and see if that actually happens here today. This is, as I mentioned, our 3 turns with the lathe. We are a PA preferred winery, so all of our juice does come from our great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And this is a blend of St. Croix, Landau, and it finishes with the Fauche grape. This is our unoaked red.
Wow.
Well, that's easy drinking and delicious.
Some tomatoey food. I'm liking it.
I know, I'm liking all of it.
And it's-
Kind of smooths it out, makes it a little less tangy.
That's what we try to explain to folks at the winery when they come up as well. A lot of folks tend to go towards sweeter wines, and we ask them to just taste our red wines and just suggest some things that we have at the winery to pair with it, because sometimes it's not so much the wine, be it our wine or any other fine wine that they could be drinking, it's what they're pairing it with makes the wine seem a little off.
So Patty, if someone wanted to come and do a tasting at the winery, what are your hours and where are you located?
We are located at the top of Summer Hill, which for folks that are familiar with where the Diamonds is run, it's up at the top of that hill just before the Summer Hill Fire Company. Make a left-hand turn and we are the second home on the left.
Now, on to our second wine. Do we sample the food, or do you want us to sample the wine and then the food and then the wine again?
I'd like you to try I'd like you to try the wine first, because I want you
Okay.
to see what the cheese does to the sweetness of the wine. Now, obviously, it's not going to make the wine sweeter. We've already made it a certain residual sugar level.
What is the
But
residual sugar?
On
this
Joy,
one?
it's 5%.
Okay.
The 3 turns with the lathe was 1%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the way that the food and the wine react with each other, because there is a lot of chemistry that goes into the wine, and there's chemistry that goes into cooking
So
as
how
well.
many wines do you have that you carry currently? How many different types or flavors of wine do you
We're
have
up
right
to
now?
17 right now.
And that's all PA preferred juice or grapes?
All PA preferred. We
wonderful.
offer dry, sweets, reds, whites, fruits, sparkling, and a port.
That's excellent.
Well, Patty, thank you for pairing wine with great food.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So we're here with Andy from Marley's Brewery and Grill, located on Route 11 in Bloomsburg. How's it going, Andy?
Good, it's going great.
So I'll be honest, when I think Italian food, I think red wine. I wouldn't necessarily reach for a beer when I'm eating gnocchi and eggplant rollatini, but you say that that's not necessarily the case. So tell us a little bit about what you brought today and how it goes well with the pasta dishes that they cooked up from Amici's.
Right, sure. Like you're saying, a lot of people wouldn't really expect, beer to really pair
Yeah.
great with Italian food. But for instance, the bigger, bolder IPA flavors, you'll get citrus, you'll get some hops, you'll get a lot of really dark, fresh citrus taste from that.
Okay.
So specifically, a beer like that, I would say, would blend really well with good pizza, a cheese blend, and again, something delicious like this, where it's light cheese, really big flavors.
Okay, so it's the cheese flavor that blends well with this type of beer.
Yep, absolutely.
So obviously brewed in house.
Yep,
At
brewed.
Marley's. Tell me a little bit more about the beer.
Yeah, so it's our Citra Love Double IPA. It's basically our love letter to the Citra hop. It's a very popular hop. So it's used as our bittering hop, it's used as our aroma hop, and then we double dry hop it, so it really brings a huge, bold citrus taste to it.
Well, fun. I'm excited to try it. Should we drink?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Ready, Tom? Cheers. It's a great beer.
Oh my.
That's a great
Thank you.
beer.
Yes.
That's a really
so a lot
good
of
beer.
flavors. You'll start to get a little bit of hints of the biscuit flavor. Some of the Munich malts come through with that.
Yes.
And then again, just
But
blast.
what's that finish?
That's the Citra hop.
Yes.
So depending on when you use the hop at a certain schedule based on your brew day, that's how you determine your recipe and really bring out some of those flavors.
Now at Marley's, you definitely have a ton of other beers.
Right, yeah, and just in case you don't like IPAs, we always have, we always have between 11 to 14 beers on tap. Something definitely for everybody.
The one that I like, which is a little bit different, is the peanut butter
Yep,
one.
Pack Dog Peanut Butter. We're definitely known
Yes.
for our peanut butter beer, absolutely.
It's delicious, and it
you can
tastes
pair
like
that
peanut
with
butter.
anything too. Yes, yep, yeah, a lot of people like it.
I've noticed that you could pair your peanut butter brew with anything on the menu.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And we do have a really extensive menu, so I mean, you could pair it with an Italian dish, which we have there. We have our pizzas, we have our full grill, so yeah, we definitely have something for everyone.
And then you have the patio outside in nicer weather that you
Right.
can sit and enjoy just a couple and maybe an appetizer.
And bring your favorite dog too. Why not? It's pet-friendly patio.
For sure. Oh, who knew? That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'll bring
oh,
my 2 guys.
Yep, we even
Here's
had a
one.
dog just yesterday.
Yep.
So they come and hang out with us all the time.
Very cool. What are your hours if people want to stop by the brewery?
So every day, 11 a.m. Sunday we do close at 9 p.m., but then hours kind of fluctuate based on that. But yeah, 7 days a week, 11 a.m.
Well, Andy, cheers. I think I might steal this growler from Tom.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take that home.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah,
Thank you so
cheers.
much. If you're interested in going to Marley's or Amici's or visiting any of the 28 restaurants, breweries, and wineries that are all part of Columbia Montour Visitor Bureau Restaurant Week, again, it's March 16th through the 24th. All of the info can be on itourcolumbiamontour.com.